Hello.
Hello.
We won't see our faces today because we don't feel like it,
Oh,
but you can hear us. What?
yeah.
What? It's not funny. It's true.
Okay.
We're here accompanied by Basil, who you might hear pairing. We're going to talk about Fort that's been kindly sent to us to review, to play, to enjoy. Did we enjoy it?
Yes.
We did enjoy it. So Fort is a little card game for 2 to 4 players. Was it?
Two to four.
2 to 4. And it's actually a very small box.
It is a very small box. I mean, not tiny epic size small, but
Yeah,
I
but small. Like,
I don't know. I suppose it's kind of almost codename size, but maybe a
yeah,
bit thicker.
yeah. It's a good size box. And it is filled with very good components. There's a dual layer boards, which is great. I
dual
like
layer.
those.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's got cards they're not linen finish. Cards are probably the worst bit of all that's inside.
Well, I don't think it's all about linen finish. I think as long as the cards don't bend, they're not.
They don't bend really.
bendy. They're quite thick. So I think there's good card stock. It's just not linen finish.
I'm just a sucker for linen finish.
You like the linen finish. Yeah.
There is the player rates. They are big.
Big player aids.
But there is a lot of icons on them, which makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, without the player aids, there will be a real problem with iconography in this game, I think, 'cause there are so many different icons, and it's not immediately obvious what they mean. So
Yeah.
that player aid is very useful, and it's because it's nice and big, it's very easy to find the symbol. You don't know what it means and find out what it does mean.
Without squinting.
Without squinting. And often what they do mean isn't very complicated anyway, so you remember it.
It is
after a
quite
game or two.
intuitive, exactly. I think after the first game we didn't need those aids anyway. But yeah, it's good that they're there. And the tokens. I love the tokens.
I just like little wooden tokens, especially if they got like stuff printed on them.
Yeah.
So these have little yellow tokens with like
Pizzas.
pepperami pieces.
Pepperami? What's a pepperami?
Pepperoni. Pepperoni.
Pepperami.
Printed onto them, just so they look like little wooden pizzas. And what's the other one? Toys. It's like some.
The toys are
cubes.
as like a box of toys in there. But then the player tokens, each player's got a different one with a different symbol. So like the green one has the tank.
Yeah.
So yeah, these are quite cute. But the whole premise of the game is you are building a fort, as the game suggests.
And you need help from other kids in the
Yeah.
neighbourhood.
So you have your two best friends with you, who never leave
They'll
you.
never leave you.
So it's not like real life. And then you get children from other yards or garden or park or whatever that is there, and you just play with them.
Yeah.
Give them pizzas, give them toys, bribe the children to come to your fort.
So the park is like the main, like, non-affiliated area where the children. That's basically the face-up area where you can just get the cards from there to add to your deck. But you also have the option of taking cards from other people's yards. So all the cards that they don't use on their turn go out in front of them after their turn, and for a whole round they're there for anyone to take.
Yeah, so sort of like if you don't play with your friends, they go away to play with someone else.
Yeah,
Which
they
is,
get bored.
Yeah,
So,
what happens?
yes, on your turn you have to think, well, I really want to play this card because I need to do that this turn, but that would leave this card, which is one of my best cards in my deck, open for someone else to take. So maybe I should just play that card so no one else takes it, or maybe just hope no one takes it.
But then when you're playing cards, you want to play the same suit. And if you don't have all of them, because like I had a very good hand a couple of times where I had all of them with the same suit, so I can keep adding them. If I have a card like this, I can keep adding them and just use them, and then there's nothing in my yard. But if you have 5 cards in your hand and they're all different suits, then you're gonna have some in your yard, even though if you really don't want to, you're gonna have to put them in there for everyone else to use.
Yeah, it's a strange feeling game. I mean, technically it's a deck builder, but it doesn't really feel like any other deck builder.
Yeah, because you can steal with other people's decks, right? And you get
Yeah.
cards stolen from your deck, so you sort of buy one, but it might not be the next round.
Yeah, but because you can get them back off of other people eventually, it doesn't feel that mean.
Yeah.
And to be honest, because you can only play one card a turn, the loss of one of 5 cards doesn't really impact you that much. So
Yeah.
I don't think it's take that kind of.
It's
game.
not, because if it was take that, I wouldn't enjoy it. I don't like take that game.
No.
And this one, I really like this one, and I like the art. Like, I love Root, and the art in Root, and this is the same artist.
But he's gone for kind of a sort of like a Cartoon Network style.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's basically all the kids are different colours. Like some are orange, some are blue. Like it's all very kind of like an acid trip of, and it's set in. I think it's like kind of set in like I don't know, like an 80s childhood or like a 60s or 70s.
The names of the children, they're not names, they're not like nicknames that you give now.
Yeah.
No. But yeah, I looked at it and it looks like Cartoon Network, Ed and Eddie. Ed and Eddie. Or like the other one, the Crump Twins. I can't remember what was the name of it.
Very stylized and not realistic in any way.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I really liked it. I enjoy the gameplay, and it is language independent, because apart from the little cards, no, it's not, because the little cards that you get, the little extra action or something, the little upgrades you get, they have writing on it.
Yeah, we should probably talk about that. Yes, so as well as just the basic building the decks, you also, after you build the first level of your fort, you get kind of an end game scoring addition thing. And the first person to build the first bit of their fort gets first pick of all these end game scoring things. So they get, right, now I know what to focus on. This is what I'm going to be collecting the game. And then, so eventually everyone will have one of those. And when you get to the next stage of your fort, you'll get basically a variable player power that now you have for the rest of the game that will differentiate. So it's weird, like not most games you would get your end game scoring and your variable player power at the start. But in this one, you kind of get them as you go along. So it's a little bit weird, because initially you don't really know what to do. You just, I'll just get some.
But you go for one of two things: either getting 25 points or getting your fort to the last level, because that's how the game ends and that's how you get points. So
yeah,
in
the game we played. I had lots of cards that gave me points during the game, and you and Chris both went for trying to get the last fort level.
But then you won in the end, didn't you?
But I only won by a few points.
Yeah.
So I managed to win, even though I didn't build my fort up as much as you two. So it just goes to show that it's not all about just building the fort. If you can get some cards that score you points every time you play them, that's also worthwhile strategy, which is good, because it kind of shows there's multiple ways to victory. So yeah, I like it.
So is it staying with us?
I think it probably is staying. It doesn't take up much space on the shelf, and it's fairly enjoyable. It's got a unique theme, so yeah.
It's a filler game, isn't it? It's a quick game.
Quickish, yes.
Yeah.
I feel like, yeah.
So yeah, so Fort, it's good.
Fort is good, yes.
How many thumbs?
I'll give it a thumb and a half.
I'll give it a thumb and a half. 3
Yeah.
thumbs out of 4. Good game.